And sportsmen and outdoor adventurers alike can enjoy West Virginia's lovely lakes.
Good Monday afternoon to you all. Welcome one and all to the show. Sorry for the spook wave opening, guys. What can I tell you? I blame the producer. It is entirely the producer's fault. So we lay that at the producer's feet, and there will be repercussions from this. I will not stand for such shoddy production work on this show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Monday evening. And let me tell you something. So you think you can stomp me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Yeah, baby. But anyhow, this is the show. This is what I do. And let me ask you a favor. If you have just swung by, if you're just stopping by and you maybe haven't made the decision to, it would be super cool if you could do me a solid and click that subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications to get notified about this live stream, all of our other live streams. And I'm going to tell you what all is going on with all of our live streams. Upcoming TTRPG events that we do here, all kinds of cool stuff, and pre-recorded videos. You'll find out about all those too. So I would very, very much appreciate it if you could do that. So it is Monday, but listen, Monday isn't the end of a fun weekend. Monday is the beginning of a fun week, and I want you to manifest that in your lives. I want you to step up, and I want you to say that this is going to be a good time. There's going to be good stuff happening all week. I want you to say it, and I want you to feel it. Gonzalo, you are absolutely correct. 7.44K right here, guys. We are chugging. We are driving like a locomotive. This is the old 97, and we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. You want to join us? You want to join us? Because let me tell you what you get. When this baby hits 10,000 subs, you're going to see some serious stuff, by which, of course, I mean we are going to put on for you guys an in real life gaming convention. Now, we have got the GWOC, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. We get together on Discord. We're doing it in April from now on. There will be no deviation from that. We're doing it in April. We have games 4 days straight. We have guest panels. It's a lot of fun. And it's all on Discord, and it is kind of enjoyable. It is kind of enjoyable, but isn't going to a real con just that step up? Now, the GWOC as it is free. The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention is free. There's no travel involved. There's no hotel room you got to pay for. There's no expensive food in a tourist district you got to buy. You don't have to vie for a badge to be like, oh, I hope I get into this person's table. You don't have to haul a bunch of gaming stuff with you. You just log onto the Discord at the appropriate time and you start playing the games you love. When we do GWOC, the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention, that's going to be different. I cannot just do it out of the goodness of my heart, but I will try to make it as reasonable as possible. And let me tell you a little bit about the GWOC this year. Folks, so far we have 3 confirmed panelists. We have Sky Hernstrom, Richard Witters, and Heidi Gygax Garland and Eric Garland are going to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss those panels. They're not on YouTube. They're at the convention. Go to the convention and be there. So that's how people are like, oh, you got to put this on YouTube. Nope. Come to the con. It's free. It's 100% free. And so I would hope you would do that. I would very much hope that you would do that. But if this channel reaches 10,000 subscriptions, I don't know that it will. I don't know what the good Lord has in mind for me. You don't either. But if this channel reaches 10,000 subscriptions, you will see absolutely a celebration of that with an in real life convention. Guys, you know what else is worth celebrating? First edition AD&D. And how do we celebrate it around here? We play it on Tuesdays. More about that later. But we also like to see the creation of new first edition AD&D stuff. Adventures, supplements, campaign settings, that sort of thing. They're thin on the ground. I get that. Some people are like, I'll just buy 5e and convert it back, or I'll just jump to Shadow Dark and make that work to scratch my AD&D itch. And if that's what you want to do, that's your jam. But let me tell you something. Right now, there's a Kickstarter that I am proud to be a part of. In that, I am writing the first edition AD&D sections for this Kickstarter. And what am I talking about? This is Empire of the Undying Sun, a campaign setting. It is a 450 plus page horror fantasy campaign setting for 5th edition and for 1st edition. Dreamwalking, wargaming, new talent trees, a shifting mega dungeon. I have written 3 full-length modules for this setting. I am working on converting it to 1st edition. This is all the handiwork of Yang Yan Zhao. He has honored me, he has blessed me, he has gifted me with the privilege to bring to you guys the 1st edition conversion of it. It is over on Kickstarter. I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you have not backed this and you love 1st edition AD&D, then this is something that you're going to want to get in on. There's 10 days left. It needs about, let's see, I don't math well, but I think that is about, what is that? $1,890, $1,990, something like that. So get in there and back it. You can check out all the benefits, all the links. They're right down there. Oh, I give those modules out all the time, Ultra American. I give them out all the time. Hit me up over on Twitter. Drop me a DM over on Twitter. If you're watching this and you haven't clicked the subscribe button and you want some free 1st edition AD&D modules, maybe something to tide you over until Empire of the Undying Sun here goes to press, hit me up, DM me on Twitter, throw me a subscription here on YouTube, drive us forward on YouTube, get us over the hump, get us to that 10,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube, because we are currently, let's check the studio. We are currently at 7,447. All right. That's a little over 2,500 subscribers to go. I know that's a big leap for a niche guy like me. There's YouTube channels out there, guys. They will grow or shrink by 2,500 subscribers today, maybe even in the space of an hour. While I'm talking to you, there's channels that are growing by that much. There's channels that are shrinking by that much. And the creators for them probably won't even notice it. But it's a mountain up there that I got to climb. It's a hill that I've got to go up. So if you're watching, please click that subscribe button and let me know on X. You can let me know via email. My email address is going across the bottom. And I will get you a set of 5 free first edition AD&D modules. Doesn't that sound cool? Ryan Nowicki, you know what, Ryan? Thank you. Ryan says, I would subscribe to your channel if I didn't find out months ago how awesome it is and sub right away. Well, Ryan, you know what? That is just awesome too. But if you, regardless of subscription numbers, if you like first edition, back this Kickstarter, get some first edition in your life. Savo, good to see you. Lovely to see you, of course. Always lovely to see you. Still want to see that sketchbook. But that's for another time. That's for another time. Let's talk a little bit about something you might be looking at. Maybe you're one of those folks that's new here and you're like, wait a minute. Hang on a second. He has something that looks like an original D&D wood grain set sitting up there. Well, that's a prop. That's an empty box. That's just cardboard, right? It's not. This is a reproduction of the original Dungeons and Dragons wood grain set that was released January of 1974. Matthew Tamp was kind enough to hook me up with a supply of these books. And what I have done is recreated with Ryan's help, or with Matthew's help, with Matthew's help. Oh, Emperor Toby Cat. Well, thank you. I hope you like our content. I hope you like our content. I'm going to be talking about what we're doing this week here in just a few minutes. But so I've been able to make a few of these sets. And I won't bore you with the whole story again. I was able to make a few of these sets. And I'm giving away 4 of them for the holidays. How do I get one? How do you get given one? You say there's only 4. There's more of us here. Here's the thing. We have a Patreon. We have YouTube memberships. Back the show on Patreon, become a patron, or back the show with YouTube memberships. You don't have to do both. You can do it for as little as $1 a month on Patreon or $2.99 a month over here on YouTube. If you're a spendthrift, hello, Beth Bags. It's my sister there. Second person that I played D&D with, well, really the first. They're kind of tied for first. Her and my friend Tommy Miner from up the block. Keep on the Borderlands. But back us on Patreon, back us as a YouTube member. Do that no later than October 31st. That is 11 days from now. Author Alyssa Hazel, what an honor. What an absolute honor. Young lady, if I thought it would work, I would throw an invite and I would drag you right on right now. But this, I feel so happy now. I got Savo, I got Alyssa Hazel, got my sister stopping by. Yeah, I couldn't be doing better. But anyway, so these sets, if you back on either platform and jump in no later than October 31st, stay with it to the end of December. That's $2 for a raffle ticket if you think about it like that. If you do it over on Patreon, it's $4.98 if you do it on YouTube. I can't control. That's as lowest as I can make it. You will be entered in the drawing. Everybody's name goes on a list. Everybody's name goes on a wheel. Christmas night, we spin that wheel 4 times, and 4 people will receive a reproduction of original D&D, which includes a reproduction of chainmail. That's right. If you want to play with the chainmail rules, it comes with that. So it is actually 2 classic first edition, or 2 classic original TSR games that I'm giving away in a vintage reproduction wood grain set. Let's jump into that. Look at that. You get these via mail order or the Dungeon Hobby Shop. 2,500 of these were printed up. I'm giving away 4 reproductions. Don't miss out on it, guys. Do not miss out on it. Now, I am donating 1 to Page. I am donating 1 to EggCon, and I am donating 1 to Claricon 2026. All those cons in 2026, and they will auction them off for charity. So maybe you go to one of those cons and you try and outbid somebody and get one and end up paying almost as much as you would for an original. That's a joke. I don't think these will ever sell for the tens of thousands of dollars that those go for now. But if you want in on that, now's your chance. No later than October 31st, stay with us to the end of December. Christmas night, me and Mrs. the Dungeon Delver sitting right here will spin that wheel 4 times. 4 times. 1 win per household. Kyle Johnson says, legit question. My membership was gifted to me. I can't renew for next month until my current gift sub expires. Will that harm my chances? Kyle, shoot me an email. I know you want to jump back in. I know you're basically being blue-balled, for lack of a better term, by YouTube. Shoot me an email, Kyle, and we'll make it right. Okay? Because I know you will want to stay in. Somebody who just blows through randomly in November, I can't. Thank you for being a member or supporting us on Patreon at that point, but that your name won't go on the list. But Kyle, you are special. There's an asterisk next to your name now. Email address is rolling down past the bottom there. Shoot me an email about it, and I will make sure that you're on the list. The last thing I'm going to say about this before we launch into good stuff, because I've been going on now, it's 18 minutes, almost 19, about this set is some of you folks might be hesitant if you're overseas because you're like, my God, that's the shipping's a killer. It's going to $60, $70. That ain't so. That ain't so. Because Gonzalo, you guys know him, Gonzalo or Gonzalo Lira's bar tab, hangs out in chat, is donating overseas shipping to 1 overseas winner. I get 4 of you guys. 3 of y'all, we're just going to have to fight it out. But still, even if you have to pay shipping, $60, $70 for an OD&D set, I think that's a pretty worthy price. So that's what's going on with the OD&D sets. That's why you're seeing an OD&D wood grain set there. It's not just me flexing. It's not just a weird prop. It's an actual original D&D set. I've been printing up covers today to start assembling more books. So Alyssa will bring her brass knuckles. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that. You've got an Apple autocannon. Honestly, I think the brass knuckles are practically just overkill, as you got that Apple autocannon. Anyhow, let's talk about the week ahead. What are we doing? We're having fun. If you're new to the live stream, and you wonder what it is that I do and how often I do it, 5 nights a week we live stream about classic TTRPGs. Tonight is just the preamble. We're just kicking back and we're talking about what we're doing in the week, but we're also going to talk D&D content. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, is really cool. And if you've just subscribed and you don't watch the live streams, the Tuesday night live stream is that's your money live stream right there. In that, I would hope you would all super chat me, but I kid. I always have to get one joke in about it. Tuesday night is a live play of first edition AD&D. And what do I mean by a live play of first edition AD&D? What do you just sit there and I stare at you guys? I would hope not. What I want you to do, if you tune in, is while we play, and I have a great stable of players, I have a wonderful table. While we play, I would like, if you have a question about what we're doing, about the rules, about the characters, about the setting, I would very much like it if you would ask the question in the live chat. And if for whatever reason, if I miss it, and I just want to preface that by saying you don't have to super chat your question. Just ask your question. There's a pretty good content filter. Like when Kyle Johnson asked this question, do you know what StreamYard did? It put a question mark on the dialogue as it scrolled up. So I saw that. But I will do my best to answer your question. If I miss your question, one of the players may answer your questions. And if they don't answer your question, somebody else in the audience may answer your question, because I have the best looking and the smartest audience of any 5 night a week classic TTRPG live stream show, period. And I'll kill on that hill. So that's Tuesday night. Oh, and by the way, maybe you're thinking, oh, okay, I get it. You're doing like a Critical Role kind of thing and so on and et cetera. Guys, we don't do Critical Role around here, okay? We roll the dice out where you can see it. There's no script writing sessions. There's no table reads. There's no story arc. There's no pre-plotted things. We could get 10 minutes into the game tomorrow, and everybody's rolling up new characters because there's been a TPK. It could happen. It could absolutely happen. The dice decide what's going to happen, and we roll the dice in front of you guys so you guys can see. So that is Tuesday. Wednesday, I kick back. I climb over into the back seat with you guys, because Wednesday night, my co-host, Kyle, the Viking Hat GM, he will be in and he will be running some of his homebrew lightweight TTRPG called Yes, But. It is a post-apocalypse setting. We're having a lot of fun with it. Bullets are flying. Mistakes are being made. We're effing around and finding out. We're on that mark. So tune in for that. That's more great tabletop play. Same rules apply. Ask questions. Watch the dice roll as they roll. Thursday night, we've got a little bit of deep dive. We're going to get into some D&D. We're going to do some D&D Q&A. We're going to look at a classic D&D product. What is it? That's a surprise. But I think you guys are going to like it quite a bit. And finally, Friday night, this is for you, Damien, because you messed it up. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Friday night is the 4th of our 5, because we got 5 Fridays in October this year, is the 4th of our 5-session Halloween Shocktober Call of Cthulhu on-screen live stream horror gaming mini campaign. John Collins, good to see you too. We are playing a modern Cthulhu setting. Things have gone completely off the rails. One character is down. One character is losing their sanity. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. And it is going to be a lot of fun. So please, please tune in and make sure you are within variance limits. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Now you might say, Bill, that's crazy. That's enough. Thank you, Ultra American. I really appreciate that. I do. You might say, that's enough, guys. That's 5 live streaming nights. But it don't end there. We are doing a very special live stream on Saturday. We are going to be live streaming Erebus Mythos. What is Erebus Mythos, you ask? It is a custom horror setting for the Shadow Dark RPG set in 19th century Greece. We're going to be dealing with Greek horror folklore right here. Risa T and the Erebus Mythos design team have created a creepy atmospheric horror game. We're doing session 1 of what will probably be 2 sessions. Getting me some volunteers in here to play that with us. We'll do a short one then, and then we'll just play to the end next Saturday. So that's the week. That's what's coming up, guys. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Now's the time on Sprockets when we talk about TTRPGs. I've told you enough about the show. Even though Lord Byron breatheth hard. Sorry, that was awful. So yeah, any TTRPG, any D&D stuff, questions you guys got? Somebody mentioned up the thread. Somebody mentioned up the discussion something about wanting a dumped. The deck of many things, the dumped. Here we are. Ryan Nowicki said, one of my favorite old buys was a vintage dumped. We never touched the artifact in game before we got the deck, and turns out to be more fun and scary than people say to play with. There's something in the works. I'm just going to say there's something in the works regarding the dumped, and we'll leave it at that. Now, the Deck of Many Things is an interesting AD&D artifact. This is literally one of those that is so purely and deliciously Gygaxian that if you've not seen this, if you don't, this is like the Great Green Devil Face, the Hand and Eye of Vecna, Strahd, Dragonlance. This is just one of those things that is part of the lingua franca of D&D. You can't not know what this is. And so I'm trying to get Adobe to play nice here. So you know what? I'll let you restart. Fine. You want to complain? I'll let you restart. So if maybe you kind of came in from the cold, you know what? Okay, I rarely say, "Oh, you should totally draw this" to artists. I drop fun little hints, and if it happens, it happens. I would love to see Feifel playing solitaire with a deck of many things. That fits right up her alley. And what is a deck of many things? Maybe some of you might ask. Let's take a look at it. I'm in no hurry. You guys got any place to be? Base D&D memes and shenanigans. Oh, crap. You missed everything. We'll have to start over. Huh. I told everybody, the big thing is I told everybody how they could enter to win a reproduction Wood Grain OD&D set. I told everybody how to do that. So let's take a look at the old school DOMT, deck of many things. So what is a deck of many things? A deck of many things, beneficial and baneful, is usually found within a box or leather pouch. Each deck contains a number of thin plaques or plates. These sheets are usually of ivory or vellum, each is engraved and or inscribed with glyphs, characters, and magical sigils. As soon as one of these sheets is drawn forth from the pack, its magic is bestowed upon the person who drew it, for better or worse. The character gaining a deck of many things may announce that only one will be drawn from the pack, or he or she may opt to draw forth 2, 3, or even 4, but the number must be announced prior to the first plaque withdrawn. Note that if the jester is drawn, the possessor of the deck may elect to draw 2 additional cards. Each time a plaque is taken from the deck, it is replaced unless the draw is a jester or fool, in which case the plaque is discarded from the pack. The deck will contain either 13 or 22 plaques, 75-25% chance. Additional plaques in a 22 card deck are indicated by an asterisk before their name to simulate the plaques. You may use the normal playing card indicated. Let's look at what this does. The Sun, the King of Diamonds. Gain beneficial miscellaneous magic item and 50,000 experience points. Not bad. The Moon, Queen of Diamonds. You are granted 1 to 4 wishes. Well, hey, what's the disadvantage of drawing off this? Star, Jack of Diamonds. Immediately gain 2 points on your major ability. I'd have to break out deities and demigods if that was a paladin. Think about it. Their charisma might go up to 20. Comet, 2 of Diamonds. Defeat the next monster you meet to gain 1 level. Throne, King of Hearts. Gain charisma of 18 and a small keep. Key, Queen of Hearts. Gain a treasure map plus 1 magic weapon. Knight, Jack of Hearts. Gain the service of a 4th level fighter. Gem, 2 of Hearts. Gain your choice of 20 jewelry or 50 gems. The Void. Body functions, but soul is trapped elsewhere. Wait a minute, there's all this cool stuff, and then suddenly the King of Clubs just... All right. Flames, Queen of Clubs. Enmity between you and a devil. Woof. Skull, Jack of Clubs. Defeat death or be forever destroyed. Talons, 2 of Clubs. All magic items you possess are torn from you. Ruin, King of Spades. Immediately lose all wealth and real property. Uriel. Queen of Spades, -3 on all saving throws versus petrification. I know Uriel is the name of one of the Gorgons. I just can never remember how to pronounce it. Yes, and I have one of those. I was lucky enough to get one of those, St. Cuthbert, not too long ago. Rogue, Jack of Spades. One of your henchmen turns against you. The balance, 2 of Spades. Change alignment or be judged. Jester, gain 10,000 experience points or 2 more draws from the deck. Fool, J with the trademark, lose 10,000 experience points, draw again. Vizier, Ace of Diamonds, know the answer to your next dilemma. Idiot, that's also Ace of Diamonds. I think that's supposed to be different. Anyway, lose 1 to 4 points of intelligence, you may draw again. Fates, Ace of Hearts. Avoid any situation you choose once. Dungeon, the Ace of Spades. You are imprisoned. And then there's all the instructions for what to do. But I like the ones that kind of go into the detail. If you get the throne, if your charisma is 18 already, you still gain 25% on encounter and loyalty reactions. He or she becomes a real leader in the people's eyes. The castle gain will be near to any stronghold already possessed. The bad ones, the void, this lightless black plaque spells instant disaster. The character's body functions and he or she speaks like an automaton, but the psyche is trapped in a prison somewhere, in an object on a far planet or plane, possibly in the possession of a demon. A wish will not bring back the character, but the plane of entrapment might be revealed. I had this happen once, and the player that it was, his soul was sucked away and stored in the memory banks on the Starship Warden's flight computer. That's what I did. The party never saved him. Now, the Archdevil, yeah, this is a really bad one. Hot anger, jealousy, envy are but a few of the possible motivational forces for the enemy. The devil is usually of the greater sort, possibly even an archdevil. The enmity can never be satisfied, save one or the other is slain. A minor death appears, that's the skull. Armor class -4, 33 hit points, strikes with a scythe for 2 to 16 hits, never missing, always striking first in a round, and the character must fight it alone. If others help, they get minor deaths to fight as well. If the character is slain, he or she is slain forever. Treat the death as undead. With respect to spells, cold or fire do it no harm, neither does electrical energy. And then there's the dungeon. This signifies imprisonment, either by spell or by some creature or being at your option. All gear and spells will be stripped from the victim in any case. So, yeah, the deck of many things. It's a lot of fun. And someone else had mentioned this. Who was it? St. Cuthbert. Yes. I think I have. We're here. Let's see. Yes. So we've actually kind of done a deep dive on it before, but somebody brought it up and I wanted to talk about it again. This issue of the Dragon, it was Dragon Magazine at this point. Gary was almost out of the company. Let's see, make sure I get the right button. This is the issue of Dragon. Typically, if you find this, it is missing the cards, which is why I think I don't know, I think I paid like $18 for this. Getting one with the cards in was oh no, there's the sticker, $14.99. $14.99 a few years ago. It was mind-blowing. It was absolutely mind-blowing. So let's see. So there's the back of the cards. And then you have the faces. And this one, I mean, you're basically supposed to cut this out to use it. And this is a full 22 card deck. Intact Dragon magazines keep going up in cost in the aftermarket. They do. They do. Some of you guys have noticed I have a white box. This is not a Clever Arts and Crafts reproduction. That's an actual white box. I used to tell people back in the early 2000s, hey, don't despair of not being able to find AD&D books. People were selling AD&D books used on Amazon. You could go to Amazon and look for Gary Gygax's Monster Manual, and you'd find people selling them for as low as $24, $25. Or you pick them up on eBay for 18, 20 bucks. Occasionally find them in a local used bookstore, stuff like that. When Gary passed away, stuff started ticking up. Now I paid $60, I think. I've said to you guys, I think I paid about $60 for my OCE white set. It's north of 500 now on eBay, and it's just going to keep going up. If you bargain hunt, you can get serviceable core 1E books for 40 or 50 bucks. I've seen some people say, I picked up a Jeff Easley Monster Manual, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Player's Handbook for 25 bucks a piece plus shipping on eBay, which is good, which is real good. It's nice to know. But I think we have passed the Roche limit. We are over the event horizon now, where people will take a orange spine Player's Handbook and put it on eBay, bin $125. No low ballers. I know what I've got. And that is driving the market. I'm not saying you can't find good bargains out there, but I am saying that the bad deals are what is driving the market, and I don't like it. I don't like it because when somebody comes to me, AFMCS Recon, when somebody comes to me and they say, I really want to play first edition, without sending them chasing moldy, beaten up, God knows what condition, at what price, dealing with potentially sketchy sellers, on eBay. The alternative is I send them to DriveThruRPG. Go to DriveThruRPG. Here's the books. All the 1E books. Yeah, Rob, you know what I'm talking about. And consequently, you are indirectly supporting Wizards of the Coast. I would like to think that in doing so, you are frustrating them and driving them up the wall. I mean, money is money. All right. Are they doing soft covers anymore? I haven't seen a soft cover on an AD&D book in a while, FMCS, not the core. But I mean, I know they're doing pod over there. But yeah, so basically I don't like Wizards of the Coast at all. But they keep first edition in print. It's evergreen. They keep all the first edition supplements in print as evergreen. And we got to hope they never stop. If they do, I'll have a lot to talk about, but I don't want to have that show. And a lot of people say, well, man, just do insert clone here. I say this as someone who knows the people that created Osric and Swords and Wizardry, which is why there's clones at all, because they stuck it out there legally. They were really pushing the boundaries. The emails that flew from Wizards to Stuart and to Matt, I wish I could share them with you guys. Because I'll tell you something straight up. Those emails from Wizards, they didn't know whether they were shot, fucked, snake bit, or powder burnt. And that's the truth. They were desperate to get Stuart to not release Osric. They're like, please just wait 24 hours. Let us look it over, but please just wait 24 hours. And Stuart said no. And he released it. So that all of that said, there's a majesty in 1EA D&D. There's that conversation between you and Gary Gygax that goes on in the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual and the Player's Handbook. And it does a disservice to not experience that. It does a disservice. Kyle Johnson has a question that has nothing to do with this, and I appreciate that, Kyle. About lordship, at what point is a barony so big you tick up a level in the hierarchy? Not being a kingdom game guy, I would say at the point at which you start overlapping into other baronies, like say you're arranged into counties and your barony is one county and you're acquiring land and securing hexes along your border, and you start doing that into past beyond other borders. I think at that point, yeah, Bob Stewart's a genius. He really is. Osric was the shot heard around the world for TTRPGs. It's why we can have anything. You pick up Microlight D6, you pick up Blue Home, you pick up for Golden Glory. I think some people have even attempted a 4E clone, although one, that's an easily accessible game, and two, it's an awful game. But good luck to him. Crap like Lamentations of Flame Princess. None of that is possible without Osric. None of it's possible. Because if he can do it and not get sued, I can do it and not get sued. John Collins asks, can I talk about my mega dungeon that includes a room with my student? Okay, so I have a 5%. From a map standpoint, it's pretty big, pretty complete. From a writing standpoint, it's not even 5% is probably a gross overestimation. It's probably less than 1%. Mega Dungeon. It's called Castle Delve. When I run players through Castle Greyhawk, it's my Castle Delve maps. I have seen the Castle Greyhawk maps. I have no way to key them properly. I've heard rumors. I've heard stories. Gary was the guy who could run Castle Greyhawk. You guys music fans? There's an album that was never released by the Beach Boys called Smile. There were thousands and thousands of record jackets printed up for it. There were a few demo tapes kicking around. The only people who knew what it was going to have sounded like were the Beach Boys. Or hey, that's easy. The World of Greyhawk box set. So I could not, in good conscience, put out an album of music and say, this is my version of the Beach Boys' Smile. And I can't do that with Castle Greyhawk. But what I can do is create my own mega dungeon. And if I need a Castle Greyhawk, that goes in there. Castle Greyhawk, or Castle Delve is a 10-floor mega dungeon. It has a Lost World level. There's literally a level that's a hex map that is a Lost World. There's dinosaurs, there's primitive tribes. There's an elevator shaft that runs all the way through it, by the way, not just through the Lost World level, but through the entire thing. It's a fickle thing. There's a natural cave level. There's just all this fun kind of stuff. There's a demolition derby arcade section. But is there a Wendy's? Maybe, maybe not. Well, yeah, of course, all the TSR modules located in the world of Greyhawk too. Yeah, can't forget those. So there's all of these sort of things, and I've thrown a lot of things in there, and I don't want to spoil too much of it, but they're the uttermost level I really want to write. I actually ran it at Virtual GaryCon in 2020 when COVID was keeping real GaryCon from happening. Oh, you're quite welcome, Kyle. So some people have seen the lowermost level. The bluffs of Bone are some of my favorite, most horrifying. There's a section on that lowermost level that you start approaching. If you got light sources, you're like, oh, it's this pale, sort of ashy, yellowish color, bluffs and hills, and with a valley in between them. And the closer you get, the more you realize it's skulls, bones, ribs, just whatever, just piles of them. But somewhere, and I'm not going to tell you where, and I'm not going to tell you where to find it, somewhere on one of the levels, there is a long puzzle-locked tunnel that if you make your way through it, past all the traps, past all the puzzles, you'll come into a roughly 110 square foot irregular square room with an 8-foot ceiling, maybe 9 foot. There's bookshelves in one corner. There's a table in the middle of the room. There's an oddly constructed chair. Nothing else, everything else in the room defies description. There's what appear to be 2 panes of glass, longer on the horizontal than they are on the vertical, with dancing ribbons of light moving across them. There's a humming noise coming from a black box full of delicate-looking mechanical parts. It has a glass panel on one side. It pulses occasionally with rainbow lights. There's a small curvilinear box sitting just to the left of it that also has those rainbow lights. There's an elongate open-topped box with neatly arranged rows of tiles. Each one has a rune on the top. It's of a dull beige color. The shelves are lined in places with tiny, intricately carved or perhaps cast figures of metal. Some of them feel like they're bone or a very light wood. There are curious boxes that have panels on them that glow, a couple of those. The writing on everything in the room is in untranslatable runes. Lying casually in the middle of the table, which is flanked by panels similar to those on the curious table off to one side, are loose sheets of thin paper. They have inked lines and grids on them, and the spaces in between these are written in a curious crabbed script. Again, unintelligible. Any character who touches this pile of papers will feel an immediate sense of unease, as if something had stepped over their own grave. Those are the character sheets of any party that enters in. If the party waits long enough, through the door that they came in, a figure will enter. A haggard, pot-bellied old man with long, stringy hair, spectacles framed in some what may be black worked bone perched on the end of his nose. He'll observe the party, sigh, sit down in the chair, and say, "Well, I suppose you have questions for me." At which point, if I'm running it, I will answer their characters' questions. That is my studio somewhere in Castle Delve. I won't tell you guys where it's at if I ever publish it. Somebody calling me. I don't want to talk to them. So anyway, you guys asked, I answered. That was not the guys from Gen Con telling me that they're giving me my own table and hotel suite there next year. So then everyone was say versus death. Yeah. They're going to have a hard enough time getting there that I can't really take it out on them. I do go the Elder Scrolls route. If they ask the right questions about their character sheets, they can alter stats on it. But they have to be very careful, because if they damage those sheets in any way, their character is snuffed out of existence. I stab him in the throat. Yeah, if they kill me, then reality collapses. So but anyway, to jump back a little bit, you guys talking about the WG series of modules. Basically, they become parody after Isle of the Ape. You know, gargoyles, puppets, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really consider that. So that's just my take on a Greyhawkian mega dungeon. But let's see. I'm wondering if there was anything else I needed to like. Hanging out and talking with you guys is plenty super important, but you know, let's see. By the way, I do want to point out, if you are, again, if you are just tuning in and you're like, hey, I kind of like this guy's show, then please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. That is super duper helpful. And if you follow me over on X and you subscribe to me over here on Twitter, then you please let me know, DM me on Twitter, and I will send you some free TTRPG modules for first edition AD&D in PDF form. In PDF form. If you want to print them out so they look awesome sitting on your table, all I ask is send me pictures. I did my best 20 something years ago. So thank you. Thank you. So we talked about yesterday. Any more questions? Any other questions? Any comments, criticisms, negative, nasty remarks, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Step up and do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I do, by the way, I do have a couple of slots open for that live stream Erebus Mythos game. If that scratches your itch, drop me an email. You can definitely shoot me an email. And I will be more than happy to talk to you about it. But again, that's happening this Saturday. Yes, JAS. Paul did the When We Were Wizards podcast. Yes, he did. If so, Tim Kask said to get in touch. Yes, When We Were Wizards. I knew what you meant. Tim Kask wanted me to get in touch. Are you saying somehow through the medium of When We Were Wizards, Tim told me to get in touch with? Because I don't know. I'm a little confused. Answer's unclear. Podcast stuck in nostril. You know, it's interesting. A lot of people ask me, like, hey, it's, I shouldn't say a lot of people, it occasionally gets asked, would you do your show as a podcast? It kind of is. Like, could you put together a playlist for a podcast? Just subscribe to me on YouTube and listen. And it's I mean, I do a lot of visual stuff, like when I'm showing off the deck of many things and so on and etc. I think something is lost in translation when folks just listen. Kyle, you can, I mean, sure, you don't have to. I'd certainly appreciate. I dropped an F-bomb earlier. So yeah, I mean, if you want to pay for the monetization on this live stream for tonight, absolutely. I am confused. JS, I'm confused. I'm Joe Kaufman, good to see you. Bob Jester, hopefully you're not scared. Joe Kaufman, by the way, out there in the audience, speaking of bringing people into live streams, Joe Kaufman plays in our Wednesday night session with Kyle. It was not Anybody who knew how to contact those involved in it. Oh, thank you, Bob. Thanks. That's good shit, man. Thank you. Who knew how to contact those involved with that podcast? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's not like Paul hides on the internet. I mean, so, you know. But thank you for reminding. I actually do need to reach out to Tim because before the year is out, or possibly in the new year, because I've got some live stream guests coming up. I would absolutely be interested in talking to Tim. Thank you, though. Thank you. First of all, thank you for passing along. Second of all, thank you for clarifying. I do appreciate it. Yes, I quite appreciate that. Yes. Lois, she will be made to pay for this. That's my best Stewie Griffin. You know what? 2025 will be the year I no longer need a diaper. Let's make that 2026. The first 3 or 4 seasons of Family Guy were brilliant, and then it quickly devolved into 3 things. Quagmire's a creepy perv, like that one time when I jokes, and abusing Meg. I remember an early episode. Stewie built a robot of Peter. I can't remember if he drove it around or if he was just sitting at his house on the yeah, it was really it had a lot of money burns in it, Joe. But he was he configured the robot to sound like Peter, but he was still talking like Stewie, and the robot comes out and he sees Lois, and she's like, "Oh, Peter, what are you doing?" And he says, "Curse you, vile woman!" And of course, out of Peter's mouth, "Curse you, vile woman!" Yes, Peter. Wow. I'm a little punchy right now. Maybe I need some dinner. I am aware that Tim has a YouTube channel. That's wonderful. I hope he has a lot of fun and success with it. Better than mine. Good Lord. Dropped a couple subs this afternoon. That's no good. Anyway, thank you, Bob Jester, for the $5 in the swear jar. I do appreciate it. But yeah. Oh my gosh, it didn't. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think the reason people do ASMR is because it adds more stimulation to the audio due to the lack of visuals. I don't. Hey, Shellbackbo, good to see you. I don't really do ASMR. I joke about it. So my old microphone was a Blue Snowball, and it was actually a great microphone. Switching to an XLR mic might have improved my audio. The emphasis is on might. But having to have a soundboard in and not being able to just do USB anymore, because they don't like XLR. They don't make USB to XLR. Well, they do make USB to XLR converters. They're called mixers. But the Blue Snowball had a sock all the way around it, and I could do stuff like lean up and be creepy and scratch on it, but I can't really do that on here. She's not here, guys. It absolutely drives Kabuki Kid bonkers, and that's why I miss it. I may get a pop filter, like a sponge pop filter to put on here just to scorch my fingers on. ASMRs for the spouses of mouth breathers. Oh, mercy. But oh, I didn't realize you're in Ohio, Shellback Bow. Greetings to Buckeye Country. Yeah. Psst, 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 psst. I saw a cute bumper sticker. It's been a while back, but it says, if you when you see your cat, tell them I said psst, 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 psst. Yeah, somebody once told me I'd get a kick out of an ASMR channel, and I listened to it, and I was just like, nope, don't care for this. You're in Japan. Oh, you were telling me you're moving to Ohio. Yeah, that's a favorite dad joke of mine. Did you know that there are many sister cities to cities in Japan here in the United States? Most of them are located in Ohio. My youngest, who's learning to speak Japanese and goes to a, Japanese cartoon club, she absolutely, like, that joke makes her just kind of like you ever seen like the rail car that just collapses inwards because it's a soft vacuum inside. Yeah, that she cringes that hard when I make that joke. So you're almost done with Saga of Old City. One, the other one. How many? Gord the Rogue. Gary wrote 7. I think there are 6 essentials in a short story collection, but don't quote me on that. It may be only 5. I feel like he also wrote a Cyborg Commando novel or 2, but I could be completely wrong about that. People ask you, when Japanese people ask me where I'm from, I say, oh, I like that. I'll say this. I get recommended, like, years ago, I started watching Camping with Steve. If you guys know the channel, amazing channel, really fun guy, a lot of fun to listen to. Man, just break your heart to go through and watch a show up to a certain point. If you watch a show, you know the point I'm talking about. But he's doing stuff. But because I've watched his show, I get recommended all kinds of travel and camping out and stuff channels. Most of them I don't pay attention to, but I clicked on one the other night that looked pretty good. A guy was staying at a place in Japan that was, hey, off-grid gamer, like liating on the TV, typing from the phone, listening while you stain, leaf in it. I think you need to open a window, off-grid gamer. Don't ventilate the room you're in. I'm worried about you. But he was, it's like staying at this place in Japan for $1.80. And long story short, it was basically, it was a camping cabin that was, it worked for him. It was very nice. But what struck me is all the travel videos that I've ever seen. Yes, Kyle, Cyborg Commando, bad stuff. But all of the travel stuff I've seen in Japan is, I stayed in a capsule hotel for 24 hours. I rented 24 hours in a train station sleeping booth. Just all the kind of quirky stuff that that you can do in Japan. But this guy's was fascinating because my dude was out in the middle of nowhere. Like, he panned the camera around, and honestly, like, I watch Junkyard Digs and Pole Barn Garage and stuff like that. And when they're out in middle America, picking up a car, on their way to pick up a car, just doing a fun road trip, and they stop like somewhere on Route 66, and it's just like, just just flat to the horizon, no buildings in sight, dead empty road, no traffic. Like, I realize there's got to be places like that in a country as big as Japan. Because I mean, Japan's not like some tiny, it's not like, Vanuatu. It's not like, it's not like Rhode Island or anything. Yes, Junkyard Diggs is in Iowa. He is located in Iowa. But yeah, no, wherever this guy was, it was out in the piney woods. Well, no woods, but it was just like, I mean, you'd get to a town or a city eventually, but it was not like, oh yeah, Japan, everything's crammed together. There's little cities and towns and trains, those bullet train track. So no, again, just literally, you could have set up this little campground with Japanese signage all over it and filmed this in Iowa, in Kansas, just someplace out on a county road, and it would have looked exactly the same. Confuse the hell out of people, though. Anyway, Off-Grid Gamers has been watching Steve for around 8 years, Small World. He camped. I remember the roundabout he did, the roundabout camping. That was bonkers. That was nuts. Cooked and slept and ate in a traffic roundabout. Didn't get caught. Whew, crazy. Well, yeah, exactly. The kind of place you can watch your dog run away for 6 days. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Steve, he's with somebody now, and he seems happier. But yes, losing his wife, and then his mother, and then crazy neighbor. Oh my God, just blow after blow. Yeah, I didn't know that show. I mean, I guess, I should hop on Google Maps and drive around one day just to see. Because I like stuff that's just off the beaten track. That's just out there. And, I should know better because, like, yes, Steve, the stealth camping guy, Canadian gentleman, but he's been all over North America. There was a famous case a number of years ago. There's a mountain hiking trail in Japan, and essentially, when you start going up the mountain, there's 2 boulders, and you want to go to the second boulder. Yeah, the stealth pallet trailer was kicking rad. So was the bear trap trailer. That was good. But you want to go beyond the first one and go to the second one, and then make this turn to stay on your route to finish your hike. If you make the turn at the other one, you're basically doomed. And they've put signs up and stuff like this. So a number of years ago, a guy simply vanished. He disappeared into the Japanese wilderness, which again, you don't really think Japanese wilderness. And they didn't find him until years later. But the really screwy thing was, they found this pattern of logs. They saw it from the air. They found this pattern of logs, huge logs, mind you, that spelled out SOS. And they're like, oh, that must be. But when they find the guy's skeleton, his legs are like pre-mortem were broken. There's no way he could have put this SOS thing together, not in the condition he was in. And then he stayed gone for years. And yes, I have heard of that, Joe. I have heard of that place. He stayed lost for a long time. And they're like, yeah, no, he didn't do this. He didn't put these. But yeah, there's little hick towns in Japan. I didn't know that. I just kind of thought of it as a super populous place. But anyway, I have really skated far off the track. Set a horror game in Japan, guys. There, set a Lovecraftian horror game in rural Japan. Have some fun with it. Set it in like the 1970s. So unless you guys have any further questions for me, I think we're probably about ready to wrap it up there. Please tune in tomorrow night. Please stay subscribed to the show. Tune in tomorrow night. I don't know the answer to that, JS. We have got some good stuff coming tomorrow night. If you are watching over on X, never be afraid to give us a shout. If you're watching over on X, we've got 30 of you guys watching over here on YouTube. You do not recognize the bodies in Honshu. Yes. Got 113 of you folks cruised by over on X, and I appreciate that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment under this video. If you're watching it after the fact, that is what really helps in pushing the videos up, is lots of lively commentary. So please feel free to do that. I will be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. We will be playing some Call of Cthulhu on Friday, but tomorrow night is first edition AD&D, and that's a lot of fun. And who knows, maybe there could be a total party kill, and maybe that TPK could come at the beak and claws of an owlbear. Peace, good night. And thank you to Bob Jester and to Kyle Johnson for the awesome super chats. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
Have you seen my owlbear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owlbear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.